Hi, I'm Jorge Carreon in Los Angeles, and you're watching Way Off the Red Carpet.
And yes, you are. I'm Elizabeth Espinosa in Los Angeles. Here we go.
All right, Oscars big night in Hollywood, obviously, and of course, here we are in
2012.
beautiful Toluca Lake. Walking out way off the red carpet, as we're calling our little segment here tonight. So.
We are way off the red carpet in Toluca Lake. And Jorge, what did you think of the Oscars? Was it fabulous?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Wow.
I mean, it was very business as usual, I thought. I mean, Billy Crystal, obviously a very important part of the Oscars during the 90s. Last year they wanted to make a change after, I wouldn't call it a disaster with Anne Hathaway and James Franco, but for whatever reason, they went back to something that they could trust.
The comfort zone. But it felt like an older person's show. I hate to say it, but it didn't have the same energy level. And I will say that I didn't find there were a lot of surprises. What happened?
Well, that's been a problem for the last couple of years now with the Oscars in general. I think the film years have kind of not been extraordinarily great to talk about. I think this past year was another example of that. And to be honest, if George W. Bush was in office, the artist wouldn't have won Best Picture because, you know, the French. But still, I still think the year itself had some wonderful highlights, and they did honor those highlights tonight.
Which was great. Okay, so truth be told, I don't always do entertainment like you, though, Jorge. You know, I cover a lot of murders out there on the streets of LA. But I will say that it was the moment when Meryl Streep took the Oscar that I was surprised. I wanted Viola so bad. And I loved, at least, that Meryl Streep owned it and said, here's the elephant in the room. I know America wasn't happy that I won right now. So that was cool. I thought that was cool.
Well,
so props to Meryl for that.
She's a 3-time winner now. She is just one Oscar short of having the all-time record, which Katharine Hepburn, as you know, has with 4. I mean, it was an extraordinary performance. There's nobody better in creating a real person than Meryl Streep, but I still thought it was like watching Miranda Priestley play Julia Child.
That was so funny.
So we're gonna leave it there with that.
She's the New York Yankees of Oscar winners. They just keep winning. She just keeps winning. But I love you, Meryl. Don't get me wrong. I love you, girl.
Next year she's gonna play, you know, basically President Clinton because she can do anything at this point. But it's funny you mentioned that you cover murders a lot in Los Angeles because let's talk about the Red Carpet Massacre.
What?
Which is the real Thunderdome of Oscar night. Forget about who won the big prizes. It's what they wore.
That's right.
That we're going to be talking about for quite some time.
What were you wearing? And you know, I think the best way to judge the red carpet is truly not to be there.
Right? Or else can you
Way off the red carpet.
Talk smack about people you don't know, but in the privacy in your own home.
Absolutely. You're not going to get smacked in the face. I'm just saying.
But you know, actually the women did pull it out tonight. I have to say it was a really lovely night for color.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a racial sense.
Wow.
Because of the help, but I'm saying at least people did come out to kind of make a statement. Some of those statements were a little off. But let's start with a good one. Who did you like tonight? Who you thought really rocked the style?
Loved Penelope Cruz. Oh my God, did you see that blue? Just, you know, it was very elegant. It wasn't anything over the top, and I think that timeless. That certainly is a timeless gown.
I'm going to go with Emma Stone as my favorite tonight because she brought adorable and fresh to a whole new level. And the lovely red dress that she wore obviously complemented her beautiful milky skin. And then she brought it back on stage
you say it as
with
you
Ben
love
Stiller.
Girls.
I love girls. I love women.
Oh, God, that's too funny.
I'm sure my mom would be proud to hear that. But anyway, back to Emma Stone, who I think is definitely a rising star, and she proved it tonight.
Oh my gosh.
She killed it.
She killed it.
She killed it.
Emma Stone, amazing. I actually was like, oh, Billy, step aside. Can't you just have her host a show?
Mr. Stiller.
She was great.
Yeah, she went
was
up.
Great.
That kind of meta funny isn't always successful. She owned it. She went with it. But I think the women really owned tonight in general for some reason. A lot of great.
It's about time, if I may say.
It's a woman's town. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Okay. So who else? Okay. So Emma Stone, Penelope Cruz, and then there was. What about the moment tonight? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, J-Lo.
What happened?
Moon over areola. I don't think we were watching any kind of anatomy pop out, malfunction, whatever. It is trending big right now. Everybody's trying to get a look at J-Lo's, well, unmentionables.
Yeah. Was it a shadow?
Was it a shadow or not?
I don't know. But the dress in itself really looked like she could be at another club in Miami. I'm just saying. I mean, she looks gorgeous because she's a gorgeous woman, but we've seen that hairstyle, and I thought it was a little bit too much. I don't know. It just didn't really embody the classiness of what the Academy Awards is about.
I can see what she was going for. I mean, she looked every inch what we expect out of this. She's very much the diva. I thought she looked like the water feature at the fountain at Fountain Blue in Miami myself, but that's just me. But it didn't help when her, co-host party girl, Cameron Diaz, got all Long Beach and decided to give us a booty call on stage.
That was funny. I
Do you
couldn't
think
believe they did that.
real moment, or do you think it was a little too much from the ladies?
You know, I just was surprised, and I didn't really, I can't say it was like, oh, we were so funny. I just thought it was kind of like, hey, look everybody, because everybody talks about, Jennifer's butt and Cameron Diaz's behind. No, yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't find it so spontaneous and fun.
I didn't either. No, I didn't.
It was awkward, awkwardly timed, awkwardly done, and it didn't help that Miss Diaz herself looked like she just came off the beach playing volleyball.
Yeah.
Her hair looked fried. Her makeup looked a little too caked on.
I mean, she's a little surfer girl, so we saw it in the hair.
A billion people are watching this tonight.
Yeah.
Try a little harder. Also try a little harder. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Wow.
Looking like a Star Trek barmaid. I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm glad she took off the cape because I kept seeing villain in a futuristic James Bond movie.
Oh my
it was
God,
not cute.
that was so weird.
And her whole thing with Robert Downey Jr.
That didn't work at all. No. That didn't work. I agree. In fact, it was kind of awkward because it was like, aren't you an actress? I should be believing this. I should be convinced. And seriously, though, I'm just going to have to hate for a second, but in a good way. Didn't she have kids? Like, there was no baby bump. I'm just saying.
Yeah. A lot of these broads. Natalie Portman's another one.
Unbelievable.
Where did she put it? Because a year ago, she was PG.
Yeah.
A year later, looking ravishing. And I'm sorry, those diamonds, they really are a girl's best friend. I'm just saying. They look fantastic.
They were beautiful. But, her dress was okay. It was pretty, but I wasn't like, wow. Who I thought was amazing, Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
She is a bigger woman, and yet she shined. I mean, she had this beautiful dress that fit, her just comfortably, and her body, she looked smaller. It was just great. Probably wearing Spanx, and now you know what it feels like, Jorge.
Yeah.
Cough it up.
I have a confession to make, folks. I am also wearing the new line for Spanx for men right now. It's keeping it all in. But it can't keep the fabulous out. I'm just saying that tonight. I'm representing tonight. But I have to say, I think this is the same miracle fabric that they use on the space shuttle.
Oh my God.
Because it's keeping everything up right now. Because seriously, I've never looked this posh. This is good posture for me today.
You'd be slouched over.
I have to tell you, she's probably wearing more than one pair. I'm just wearing the one. All right, so I can't imagine, because she admitted it during the SAG Awards. She wore 3 pairs of Spanx.
Oh my.
But it made her look like she was confident.
Yeah.
Like she was proud to be there tonight, that she knew she had a really good shot. Well, this wasn't the most surprising of Academy Awards, but her emotional speech was genuine.
Oh,
yeah,
that was my favorite
moment. And we're
obviously,
looking for real on the
cry.
show. Looking for real on the show. You were obviously emotionally moved by her speech.
Yeah. To be honest, that was the highlight of the show. That was the part of the show that actually moved me, and I thought, this is why I want to watch the Academy Awards. Because, you've worked so hard, and then you get up there and you get the award, and you're like, oh my God, here I am. And all those emotions are real, as opposed to channeling like the death of a family member to cry for your movie. This was actually Octavia's feelings.
I think the movie itself spoke volumes for a lot of people. Very controversial. And Viola Davis not winning for Best Actress.
Oh, let's talk about that.
But let's talk about her. She looked amazing. That's
Viola looks fabulous.
I loved her without the wig. She had her natural hair out. She wore this gorgeous emerald green it was flattering. She looked every inch a star.
Here's the other person I thought, what happened? Please, here's some food. I got a carrot. Although you need more than this. Get her a cheeseburger stat. And everybody was talking about it on Twitter. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I've seen chicken wings with more meat than she had on tonight. And that black dress did nothing. But what was with the Lara Croft pose, with the leg out like that, looking like she was going to own that village. Like she had just raised it. It was burning. It was like the burning of Atlanta, and Angelina survived.
I was so disappointed because she's so beautiful, and I know Arsenio Hall was tweeting that she was wearing a lot of lipstick, a lot of red lipstick. But that's my question is, why the arms so frail? Really frail?
Is having 6 kids that challenging for any woman that you really, it just consumes you alive? Or I don't know.
She didn't exactly have them all through that body, so I'm just saying. She's got some help, too.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Twitter. Twitter tonight, I think, was probably the best place to watch the Academy Awards, because I've never seen such an instant array of comments, good, bad, indifferent, nasty, funny, But it seems
Quick.
that Twitter has overtaken the pundit.
And it made it fun.
Yeah.
I thought it actually made it fun. Some of the commentary was fabulous. But again, everybody really commenting on Twitter, why did Angelina look so skinny? And then she wears black and she's got like a little waist like this. Fabulous presentation. I mean, her face looks healthy, but definitely could have worn something, I thought, that covered her arms and made her look a little bit, you know, more, better proportioned.
Well, she has been doing very well on the red carpet. I've not been paying attention to some of because she did have her film last year in the Land of Blood and Honey. Very good film, by the way.
Yeah.
And she had been toying more with color, with more flattering silhouettes. This wasn't it tonight.
No, I was so disappointed. You, however, have something to say about my girl because I love Bridesmaids. Two of my girls.
All right, I love me some Bridesmaids. Lord knows I've seen that movie. It's my go-to comfort movie now.
Seriously.
If you haven't
breaking
seen
up
it,
with someone, go watch Bridesmaids. It's going to make you laugh.
I love Melissa McCarthy. I think she's one of the most fresh, dynamic, comedic talents we have right now. She's a lot of energy, a lot of fun. So why is she wearing Mother of the Bride purse as a dress? I don't understand.
No, I was so sad too. It just didn't work for her. I mean, certainly, you know, she is definitely a bigger woman, but wear something that, like Octavia, is complimenting of your body style. Did not work, girl.
She's had more than one opportunity now to kind of prove this, and she has just failed, failed.
You know what?
Each time.
I love her because she doesn't care. She's like, honey, I was at the Oscars. Where were you?
In Toluca Lake.
Way off the red carpet. So you know what? Cheers to you, girl.
Well, you know what? Look, if anything, the reason why Melissa McCarthy, I think, is so popular right now because she's one of us.
She is one of us.
She's one of us.
Well, I don't know about that because tonight in that skit, she's able to put up her legs like this. I can't do that.
She's been hanging out with the Cirque du Soleil people tonight. Or how crazy was that whole like Cirque du Soleil? You know what? I want to thank the producers from the Academy Awards for putting them on tonight because that Groupon I had for Iris at the whatever theater now in Hollywood and Island, we saw the highlights tonight. So I think we're good.
Yeah, like we're going. Although we're both motivated to go do yoga. That's for sure.
The only thing I'm going to do, reach for that other chicken wing that we know Angelina Jolie is not eating tonight.
My God, I know. Okay, Roseburn. Love Roseburn.
I love Roseburn.
The hair, beautiful.
Yes, gorgeous.
But again, why is she wearing black? She's tiny. She didn't need to wear black. She could have worn form-fitting like a red, a royal blue, something that just like, you know, off the red carpet is just stunning.
I disagree. I thought she brought a very elegant, very regal appearance. You just like, but I thought, but you're right. I mean, they brought the whole group out, and there she is, Miss Kristen Wiig, who, by the way, I just love to get her a stylist because I don't know what she's doing. I'm sorry, the beach looks good on Jennifer Aniston. It doesn't look good on you.
No,
you know, the tousled hair, the very bland dress. No.
Okay, but you know, enough talk about the ladies, okay? We need to talk about the boys. I'm in love. Okay, so it was such a tough call between George Clooney and
Jean Dujardin.
Jean Dujardin. I do speak French, and I can't even say that. That's nice. But between him and also Brad Pitt, who I love, but the long hair, not feeling it. What a man, though. He's so manly, Dujardin.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, the irony of all this is George Clooney, who is considered America's answer to Cary Grant, or the 21st century version of Cary Grant, was the frontrunner to win Best Actor when The Descendants first opened in theaters last fall. And then The Artist came out of nowhere. It was a big deal at Cannes, but who would have thought a silent film about Hollywood in the 30s would resonate so strongly with Academy voters, and it did. And it's really nice to see the award itself go to somebody new.
Yeah.
My only concern is we're going to be seeing him play Bond villains and those crazy foreign villains in like Tom Cruise movies, or worse, Roberto Benigni. Never heard from again.
Oh,
so, but I think Jean has real natural charisma, and somebody get him to Rosetta Stone to get some English lessons. Stats. And we love you. We won't be seeing him Grey's Anatomy.
Fabulous. But you know what though? It's sad. No one's really talking about Berenice Bejo, who is beautiful. And so truly she's a Latina, which people don't know. Okay. She's from Argentina, but she was then raised in France with her family. So just fabulous. And you know, I feel like, you know, I didn't think she deserved the Oscar, so I'm glad that she didn't win because Octavia won. But Berenice did a fabulous job. And when you put that movie together, I mean, she was a very important part of that film.
And a shout out to Uggy the dog, because I think everybody's going to run to get a Jack Russell Terrier.
This is true.
We're all going to be speaking French this year.
Yes.
Or not speaking at all, because silent movies are big this year. Like, exactly. Although I think our will to speak is too great, because I think we would have to be heard.
Listen, we're Latinos. We don't stop talking.
We have to be heard.
I will be heard.
We're going to be heard, damn it.
Yeah.
The other disappointment of the night, I have to admit, really comes down to Billy Crystal. And as much as I really love this man, and I think he's an icon himself, he is, I don't know if the expectation was too much.
I'm just curious, did he host a show tonight? I saw him like the skit in the beginning, and then it was like, and coming up next, and that was like it. He was gone. There wasn't a lot of Billy Crystal tonight.
No, and you really have to wonder.
I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying. There wasn't a lot of Billy Crystal in the show.
Very much a celebration of film, but for people who work in film. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it necessarily means. It's about people who admire the art form so much. I think there was a lot of flashes of that.
Yeah.
He was a good example of winning 4 Academy Awards tonight. But I just think, for the most part, the show felt very safe.
Yeah.
And in the end, it really wasn't much about anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder what would have been like had Brett Ratner or Eddie Murphy actually were able to get the chance to produce the show this year.
Wow.
We will never know.
You'll never know.
But I find myself missing James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
Oh my gosh. Now, here's my pick. Okay, so herere's my prediction for
2013.
2013. Here's what I would like. I would actually like to see
Emma Stone.
Will Ferrell.
And Emma Stone.
Will Ferrell and Emma Stone host the show. That would be fabulous.
And Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, I love his name, Zach. I love how he butchered it on the show. It was awesome. So, you know, all in all, the Oscars was great. I do think, though, that, you know, Jean Dujardin should call me, 310-562.
No, because I'm going to be learning French after this show's over. Rosetta Stone, I'm calling you.
Right?
Alrighty.
Was Hugo going to dominate?
You know, for a minute there, okay, I'm a huge fan of Martin Scorsese, and I'm a huge fan of Hugo. I think it's one of the most beautifully crafted films that he's ever done. I mean, anybody who's been in love with the art of filmmaking is Mr. Scorsese, and this film obviously reflected like a Valentine to not only an era of film, but imagination in general. And for a split second there, when it won its 4th Oscar, I thought, joder.
Oye, me.
It's a Hugo night, you know, and mucho jugo esta noche. And you know what? And it didn't pan out this way.
It didn't.
So,
what about my boy Moneyball? I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 6 months ago, that was the radar. They thought it was going to be Brad Pitt's year. It was going to be his blind side moment. And no, it didn't pan out. But
Such
good
a
job.
strong movie.
But still a great look at a very, you know, the American national pastime, baseball. And it is not just a baseball movie. It is a very interesting family drama.
It is.
And a good look at just what it is to have perseverance to make something work. And I think it was an inspiring film.
It was an inspiring film. I love the spirit behind Brad Pitt and, you know, Billy Bean's story, trying to come back from a personal failure because, you know, he made that decision in terms of, like, you know, going into the pros. If you watch the movie, you'll know that he basically takes this, you know, pro deal as opposed to going to college on a full ride to play ball. So it was just a really, and I thought if you're a young person, you know, that's in sports, boy, could you relate to that movie, and you really should see it.
I mean, it is a peak performance of Mr. Pitt, who the media was very good at kind of doing that battle royale between George Clooney and Brad Pitt, which we had until The Artist started to take over a lot of momentum. But The Descendants, if you haven't seen The Descendants yet, I do recommend that very, very strongly. It is by far George Clooney's best performance of his career. You know, playing a man who finds out his wife was having an affair. She's now in a coma as a result of an accident, and it's a goodbye film.
Wow.
But it doesn't have a very traditional beginning, middle, and end. It just captures a moment in this family's life, and it rides it to its logical finish, and it's a very moving film.
It was moving, it was inspiring, yet The Artist, the movie that very much took the Oscar for Best Picture.
Silence is golden.
You know what I'm saying? Pay attention, ladies. But I mean, truly, The Artist took the Oscar. So in your mind, why do you believe The Artist was so powerful, and why did it win over the entire Academy?
You know, it debuted last year at the Cannes Film Festival. A lot of people were chatting about it, but it didn't pick up that vibe winner. Because, again, The Descendants, Moneyball, Midnight in Paris, Woody Allen's film, were very much in people's minds, which is also a great movie as well. But I think The Artist is kind of symbolic of what we want. You said it earlier, we're tired of very down stories of reality, of having gas prices so high, foreclosures, and all the other shenanigans.
Covering murders.
The Kardashians. I mean, we're tired of
Chloe and Lamar and Jack
being beaten down by all this ridiculous stuff, and The Artist is about joy. And there's dark moments in it. You know, you do see the characters.
It is black and white.
The black and white.
I'm just kidding. artist to me though is, you know, so you're in the movie theater, and literally, you know, as you're watching the artist, you really when they're not talking, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not going to grab my popcorn because everybody can hear me. Maybe this is a time I will hold back my farting.
No, you're going to be so enthralled. You're going to be so enthralled. Look, it took a minute to get used to it. You're like thinking, we haven't had silent movies since the beginning part of the 20th century. And so all of a sudden, here it is. But it has such a modern feel to it.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. But I think the end of the day message there is, shut up, Hollywood.
Right. Listen. People listen. Although I have to say, as much as I know critics don't like to champion populist films, where would we be without movies like The Help? I know it's controversial within the black community whether or not it is perpetuating stereotypes.
Right.
That's a different conversation altogether. But it does reflect true compassion, true commitment, because I think Tate Taylor did a fantastic job in adapting this novel. And then you have that wonderful cast.
Oh, that cast was perfect. Heaven sent, honestly. Jessica was amazing.
One to watch, Miss Chastain, watch for her. I think we are going to see great things from this young lady.
And Emma.
Beautiful in the Tree of Life. Emma Stone, who we know is going to be Spider-Man this summer.
Yeah.
So she'll be back in a whole new context as well.
Fabulous. Wow.
So the movie itself, whatever your feelings may be on subject matter, it doesn't take away from the fact that there's artists there that are deserving of our time and attention.
And it was so inspiring. I still say, and I stand by it, The Help for me should have taken the Best Picture nod. But I understand the artist, and I get that. But certainly, I get it. I hear what people say about the stereotypes. But it was such an inspiring and such a good movie, and it really told us stories of maids and people that you don't know. And I think that sadly, it's 2012. And some people actually didn't know those stories. We're surprised.
We're still talking about race. We have a black president.
And we're still talking
about race. I think at some point, I'm hoping that that will no longer be the primary topic when films like this do show up.
Yeah. What's your race? Just kidding.
Right?
The human race.
The 440 flat in a minute. Yeah, exactly. That's my race.
I'm telling you. You did a great job on it tonight.
Oh, no, you know what? It was fun having you.
Away.
Well, my fingers to the bone, girl.
Yeah.
Burnt out my computer.
My lower back is
Seriously?
going out.
I got to change these Spanx because Lord knows what's underneath now at this point.
It's okay. I got one of these in my neck.
How many films did you see this year?
I saw all of...
You're not alone. But you're not alone. You're not alone. It's hard.
I promise.
Yeah, it is my job to see as many movies as possible. And,
me too.
I do...
I watch trailers and commercials. No, but we'll see what happens with the movie theater. I know you were asking, where is the future of movies? I think that at the end of the day, for people, it is about going to the movies to laugh because so many people are just stressed out of their minds. You have a job, your mortgage is, there's a foreclosure in your future. It's just a bad time. So I think people need to laugh, need to smile, need to get their minds off of all the craziness, gas prices in California.
Do we need to talk about that now? We're gonna be driving away with our $5, a gallon car. It's not fun. No. But at the same time, I do have confidence that Hollywood will finally wake up from its slumber of reboots and remakes and all. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be having too many silent films come down our way.
Well, that's the question.
Anytime soon.
But I love, really quick, I love that the artist was shot entirely in Los Angeles. Yeah. So of all the nominees, the one that's by a foreign director, mixed cast, silent, is in Los Angeles. That was very interesting.
I think also in terms of the fact that the world film community, I love seeing a lot of minorities, a lot foreign cultures represented this year with Damien Bichir from Mexico.
Felt really good. Yes, Damien. You were fabulous.
Emmanuel Lubezki, who was a cinematographer for The Tree of Life, who I'm sorry should have won. And, obviously Viola, Octavia, at least showing that the community itself is starting to widen for new perspectives and new narratives.
If I may say, Jorge, sí se puede.
However.
So, Jorge, I guess my last inquiry here really is, so do you think maybe next year we might be near the red carpet? So maybe not way off the red carpet, but near the red carpet.
Well, technically speaking, we're not too far from Hollywood and Highland, so we're not that way off. I think, well, I will say this. There's been a lot of jawboning on television of late regarding these topics of celebrity and what they wear and all this hoopla and stuff. And I think the door is wide open for some new voices to talk about those very same subjects in a real manner.
Who could
I'm
you be
just saying,
talking
call me
about?
call me crazy, but this
could
won't
you
be
be
the
talking
last
about?
time. I have a
It
feeling
won't be.
the last
It won't
time.
be. Well, I'm very excited. I'm excited to go to the movies with you now and see more movies, and I want to hear more commentary.
Which, by
He's
the way,
like, what's going to come out of her mouth?
I'm afraid. I think for the first time, I actually feared somebody sitting next to me because at one point I'm thinking, can we even say this? It's like, you have your job, I have mine. I mean,
Who says we have jobs?
I have to get close to these people.
But by the way, we saw Bridesmaids together, and it
Yes,
was the
yes.
funniest thing ever. I mean, honestly, I walked down, I was like, I got a side stitch from laughing so much, and I'm so glad I saw that with
me
you.
too, because I think that should have
was
been the
fun.
10th nominee for Best Picture. It
Absolutely.
wasn't, but that's okay. We'll take it. We can get it. Alrighty,
Awesome.
gal. So
I gotta go to work. Just saying.
you got to get 2 in the morning. I got to
Yeah,
figure
right
something
now.
out. What am I going to work? How do I get the Spanx off tonight? Which could require a team.
Oh my God.
So I'm just saying.
911. Get that phone out. Mm-hmm.
I'll be twittering about that tomorrow. All right, gal. So I think we did our first
Our due diligence.
Our first way off the red carpet, and hopefully this won't be the last.
That's right. Way off the red carpet. So, if America has any more questions about what did you think of the Oscars,
Send them our way.
tweet us, email us. We'll have a very, professional and non-professional opinion for you. Leave it to us.
Cheers.
Perfect.
Till next year.
Till next year.